All right, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of our Madden 25 Connected Franchise Owner Mode Fantasy Draft to YouTube Buffalo Bills Ralph Wilson series. It's the series with too long of a name, and today it's episode number 47. Happy Tuesday, everybody. We are, of course, coming off our huge AFC Championship game victory over the Houston Texans in the last game ever to be played at Ralph Wilson Stadium at Orchard Park in Buffalo. The Bills romped, winning the AFC Championship by a score of 24-0. A perfect shutout, the perfect game to send off the old stadium in, and a perfect game to launch us to the Super Bowl with still a perfect record. Now, what we are going to do here is today, because honestly, here we're figuring this out as we go. This playoff slash Super Bowl week. That's or 2 weeks that's left to be played. What I think is going to happen is today will be a practice and upkeep video. Tomorrow's video will be the Pro Bowl, which we will play, and then Thursday will be another practice and upkeep, the final one of the season, and then Friday's video episode number 50 will be the Super Bowl. Now, with that said, is that a guaranteed thing? No. It depends on what the game throws at us. We've had some weeks that we didn't practice in wild card week, but we did practice in the divisional round week. So I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go along. We're going to start today by progressing players. Now, the last time we did this, we progressed our defensive linemen, I believe. Yes, we did. So that would bring us to our linebackers for today. We will progress them, but I think we're going to kind of open up the books because as the playoffs go on, you get such weird things happening with progression that we are going to look at potentially upgrading some of these other cats who have so many points to be spent. For instance, Ben Grubbs got a big bonus at the end of the season for his work, and so we want to use his points before the rest of the season plays out because we want him to be at his absolute best, of course, for the playoffs, and so he can feed his stamina, his awareness, his run blocking ability, because there's no point leaving those 23,000 whatever points there are for next season if we can upgrade it now. Some of these guys, Bostic, we're saving up for a development. Kirkpatrick would be the same way. But somebody like Michael Roos, for instance, who's got 14,000 points, it would be worth it, I think, to upgrade something like his run blocking, even if it's just one that could impact our final game of the season, which of course is the Super Bowl. It's a big deal. We've fought all season to get there, and as far as I'm concerned, we need to do everything in our power to win that game, and if that it means that we can just upgrade a couple players here and there and have that impact the game's result, it is absolutely worth it. So we're just kind of picking and choosing. Luis Vasquez, our starting right guard, certainly will get some love here. Probably a couple run block upgrades as he is more of a pass blocker than a run blocker. His run blocking ability now up to 91. Most of our offensive linemen are up here. I think it's because they all made the Pro Bowl. They all got the big upgrade because of that. Marcus Gilbert, yeah, we should upgrade Marcus Gilbert as well. The big mauler. Man, he has had a great season. We're going to upgrade both his running and pass blocking abilities. That gets him up to 90 in both areas. That's a wonderful thing. Gilbert started this season off as a 25-year-old right tackle who was just 80 overall. And now if we take a look at what he's got, it's an 87. So he's grown 7 points over one season. Culbreath has also grown phenomenally. Culbreath started this season at 69 overall. So he's grown 12 like Jesus. But phenomenal for us to have two such great players in an area where you really need to field great players. Tackle is an extremely important position. Aside from that, Watkins and Campbell, Culbreath are all backups. Miller, sure. You know what? Let's upgrade Miller. Maybe that's enough speed or upgrade. Maybe that's enough points for some type of speed upgrade. Catching, agility would be great. I mean, his agility's pretty bad from what we've seen. His speed upgrade, we can't afford a speed upgrade. But man, it's expensive. I don't know if it's worth it to spend all the money on one speed point. After all, it's just going to go down after the Super Bowl anyways because of his age. Yeah, agility, I don't think it's worth it. If we can only go up one, it's going to go back down after this game. I think if we're going to spend it on something, we should spend it on run blocking ability, because that way, first of all, that's a skill that won't degrade as he gets older, I don't expect, and also that's something we can get 3 points out of it, and it's something that will apply on every running play that Heath Miller stands in to block on. Anyways, now that we've done kind of a general overview, let's go to our linebackers. Let's actually give them their normally scheduled progression session. That's fun to say. It's fun to do and it's fun to say. So we start with Justin Durant. He gets a little bit of love for the block shedding ability. His tackling is 90. I would give it 1. Let's give it 1. It's one of those things where if it's 91 now and we come back every time he can get an upgrade and we just give him that one push or whatever, then good things can happen. We'll finish it off here with a man coverage upgrade, get that up to 64, because Justin Durant does fall into man coverage from time to time. Let's keep going again with our left outside linebackers. Miles Burris, this upgrade is very important. Burris is, of course, starting for us right now on the right side as our right offensive line for the injured Jason Worilds. So Burris, obviously, he played extremely well. He got the thumbnail in episode number 46 yesterday on Serial Monday. Played absolutely phenomenally. We're so lucky that he was able to step in and play so well. We're going to feed his awareness quite a bit and his play recognition. So awareness and play recognition, we can get both of those up to a 72. Oopsies, not awareness again. Play recognition. Just to make him a little bit of a smarter player. And then after that, his man coverage. No, his man coverage is too expensive. Let's go one more block shedding. Get that up to a 74. Who knows? Burris might be a good outside linebacker of the future. He's been playing so well for us so far. And man, I can't even express how lucky we've been with that. Here's Dan Connor into the game. In 3-4 situations so far this year, we're going to upgrade his block shedding ability. Basically, I think as far as we can today. Connor being 27, what's his awareness? It's 82. It's not great, but it's good enough as far as I'm concerned for the purposes that he's in. He's really only in on running downs where we put out the 3-4 team. And if we could just get his block shedding ability improved to the point that he could, become a little more adept at throwing off offensive linemen and pursuing the ball carrier, that would be everything that we could want or need from him. Jamal Westerman, a special teams guy. I think it's basically the same thing, block shedding and tackling. Let's just get his block shedding ability way up. This is a guy who mostly, I think almost exclusively sees the field on special teams, like punt cover team, punt block team, kick return team, kickoff team, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And those guys are undervalued. I really, really appreciate what those guys bring to the table in terms of the game. A lot of games are won or lost on special teams. We always think about offense and defense as being the two most important facets of the game. But special teams, I personally, anyways, I think they're pretty much just as important as anything else. Brandon Jenkins does the same thing. Brandon Jenkins, a big body, backup right outside linebacker. We are starting Miles Burris out of position over him because he is so green. However, like Jamal Westerman, he has value in that he can get down the field and make people hurt on special teams. We're basically going to look at upgrading the exact same things, just block shedding ability and then tackling. And his tackling is only 87, so we can get that up to an 88. And then we'll move on to, of course, our injured starting right outside linebacker, Jason Worilds. Worilds had a great season for us, but he is, of course, injured. That doesn't mean that we will not upgrade his abilities. We're going to look at more or less the same spots. Block shedding, just a little bit. Man coverage needs some improvement. We'll get that up to about a 60. Worlds very, very rarely would cover a receiver in man coverage necessarily, but he does peel off and cover running backs and such like that from time to time. Tackling ability, we get that up to an 86, and that's good enough. Worlds, I think, could be a really good linebacker in a couple years. Right now he's good, but I think it could be really good, potentially with the proper amount of work. Now we'll move on from player progression. Get about 10 minutes of player progression done. That's awesome. And we will advance week to Pro Bowl. And I'm going to have a sip of my beverage while this loads. Ooh, burp. And we're on to the Pro Bowl. Now, I gotta admit, when I played Madden franchise modes forever on, and look at this. Advance to what? We can't play the Pro Bowl? That's such a drag. Well, interesting. I see. Oh, by the way, I didn't update you guys on this, but a lot of teams fired their head coaches after the season. Tom Coughlin resigned because he retired in New York, but the Lions fired Jim Schwartz. I believe the Redskins fired Mike Shanahan. We'll get into that all next season. Next season we'll be able to go through. And look at that, by the way. Top right part of the screen, we have $102 million in the bank. That's all sheer profit from this year, which is phenomenal. Ticket value has gone up into the number 1 spot. Concession merchandise, 2nd overall. Team success, popularity, 3rd overall. Of course, all of that as a result of our playoff run, our 2 extra home games. And I got to say, I'm disappointed. It doesn't look like we can play the Pro Bowl. So we'll advance another week, I guess, and see what's here before the Super Bowl. Hopefully there's a practice session. Like, we could be playing the Super Bowl tomorrow, you guys. This is crazy. Okay, so we have some scouting that we need to do. And we have, but scouting's after the, so you guys, check this out. So I thought we were going to have practice and upkeep Tuesday, Pro Bowl Wednesday, practice and upkeep Thursday, Super Bowl. Today, however, will be our last practice before the Super Bowl. We're not able to play the Pro Bowl, which to me is a drag. I was about to say, when I would play Madden on my own for years and years and years, I would often skip the Pro Bowl in anticipation to play the Super Bowl, or in anticipation to play, and we're going to play, by the way, we're going to play 3rd quarter tie. So we're going to go a little bit longer because there's no scouting in today's video. We'll give you guys a little more meat and potatoes. And with this being our last practice, let's draw it out. We don't need to do one of those 2-minute scenarios. We can do a couple of quarters. That'll be fine. As I was going to say, though, is I would often skip the Pro Bowl. I wouldn't play it because I wanted to get on and get to the NFL draft or get to free agency, or I'd want to, or in the case of the Pro Bowl being before the Super Bowl, I'd want to get to the Super Bowl as fast as I could and play it. If, of course, I was in it. If I wasn't in it, then I would just want to simulate all that crap and get to the off season to fix my team. So but I was looking forward to playing it here because there are so many players who are on different teams and I've been playing as the Bills for so long. We all have. It would be cool to be able to check out some of the things that other teams are doing. But I suppose it doesn't work like that necessarily. And look at this. Doug Baldwin's in. He dropped that pass, but it looks to me like Doug Baldwin might be healthy. That's something that we need to check out as far as I'm concerned. Now, I haven't actually noticed before if injured players can play in practice. Let's check out somebody we know is injured. Jason Worlds, sure enough, he has the injury tag beside him. Doug Baldwin, however, does not. So Doug Baldwin has come back from a broken toe, and that means Rob Ninkovich is back, ladies and gentlemen. Thaddeus Gibson came in to replace the injured Rob Ninkovich. Played so well, but Ninkovich is back. And isn't that wonderful to see? Rob Ninkovich broke his collarbone in, I think, week 11? because I think he played about 11 games, and he was absolutely stellar for us. He played so well, had such a great season. Basically was getting a sack a game for the entire season. Like, just unbelievable. And there's a sack. Aaron Rodgers goes down. Flippity flops force a 4th and 14 here. I don't know why we started with the ball on 2nd down, but we only got 2 downs, and they didn't pan out. Sam Martin in to punt the ball off. Flippity flops will catch it at about their own 38, and they'll return it just over midfield to the 49-yard line of the Bills. So they have good field position for their first offensive drive here. But man, isn't that wonderful to see? Rob Ninkovich back after breaking his collarbone into the game. And you know what we're going to do? I'm just going to experiment with this a little bit, because the reality is, with Vince Wilfork still hurt, obviously Vince Wilfork, Jason World's not coming back from their broken collarbones in just 3 weeks' time. But you know what? Rob Ninkovich has been stellar for us at the defensive end spot. But Thaddeus Gibson was holding his own there at the left end position. So as far as I'm concerned, if we have a healthy Rob Ninkovich, we shouldn't insert him in his regular spot. Him being a bigger body, more of a power guy, he can fit into this defensive tackle spot. Look at that. He's an 87 overall here, and he's big enough, I think, that he can hold his own there. Casey Hampton will be beside him. Casey Hampton is a lump. 47 speed. He's a lump. Let's face it. So if he can play beside that lump of a tackle, Gibson can still hold his own on the end. I think we're a lot better off. How about you guys? So let's run that in this practice scenario. Let's see how we are against the run. Great infiltration there from Durant. Stop the flippity flops for just a 1-yard gain. That's a beautiful thing. Let's monitor that. What I like about this too is that Ninkovich is lining up beside Gibson for a lot of these runs, which is pretty cool to see. And there's a nice defensive play, look to be from Jamarcus Sanford, the free safety, who has played his way onto this team full-time for at least this playoff run. This offseason, we may look at putting Chris Connie into that position. Who knows? Here on 3rd and 2, flippity flops come out, power I, tight end to the right. Tight end flips over. We're going to cheat to the left here with Bostic. And sure enough, the flippity flops run it up the gut straight at where Rob Ninkovich is lined up. We'll go to the quick replay here. Ninkovich was, man-to-man with the guard. And the guard, he did manage to get off the guard eventually to help make the tackle, but not before he was 5 yards downfield. So that's going to be one of the downsides of starting Rob Ninkovich potentially at that defensive tackle spot. He's a much better pass rusher, but here, for instance, we're lining up in 3-4 again. So Ninkovich is the nose tackle. So he's going head-to-head with the center, and he did beat him there. Davis, a gorgeous tackle, almost dislodged the ball there on that play. 2nd and inches coming up from the 23-yard line of the Bills for the flippity flops. So Ninkovich, we're purposely lining up in 3-4 here to see how Ninkovich plays as the nose tackle. Ninkovich, obviously undersized for a nose tackle. Nice play there, though. Justin Durant takes down the running back of the flippity flops, who's just playing a little outlet route there. That sets up 3rd and 1, and we're going to go in the goal line formation, goal line man. So we'll still have everyone in pass protection. Obviously, there's nobody back. This is a cover 0. But we'll see if we can stop. And there's a little toss play, and Hunter. What a play. Jason Hunter, the backup left end, in on the goal line stand. And he makes the tackle for a 6-yard loss. Flippity flops forced to kick a field goal here from the 30-yard line. This will be a 47-yard attempt. 57 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. That kick is up and it's good. So the flippity flops take the lead 17-14 over the Bills. We'll have an opportunity to put a drive together here. Kick is up, and it will come down to Jacoby Ford at about the 8-yard line. Ford is going to look to get outside, and he does. He's wrapped up, though, at the 35-yard line. So a nice return there for Ford. 65 yards to go for the touchdown for the Bills. we're going to go to the shotgun formation here to start this drive off. And Heath Miller, nice move, nice catch, and he drops it as well. So we have 3 offensive plays so far, 2 of which ended in drops. I confess myself unimpressed at this point. Let's hope that this is a problem that runs its course in practice. Aaron Rodgers is going to take off, get out of bounds. A nice play there. Sets up 3rd and inches. I'm surprised that they let the defender take that shot at Aaron Rodgers. We purposely got out of bounds so that we weren't putting our franchise player at risk. Mind you, I don't think there are injuries in practice. Or are there injuries in practice? I've never seen one. I don't think so. But even then, if there are, I'm not risking it. Anyways, Ronnie Brown runs up the gut for the first down there. That sets up first down for the Bills at their own 48-yard line. A gain of about 3 on that play. And here's the fourth quarter coming underway as the game freezes, maybe? Come on. You can do it. As the game loads, I'm going to take a sip of my beverage again. Well, this is awkward. Come on, game. Come on. Really? You're not going to load? People are watching. Come on. Maybe if I just say come on. Oh, there we go. Oh, so there was a delay of game call against us. Oh, I see. That's really fair. As the game didn't load for us. Asshole. Anyways, we're onward and upward here. 1st and 15. Deshaun Jackson comes wide open up the seam. 25-yard gain. Come on, guys. You can't cover Deshaun Jackson with just 1 DB when Deshaun Jackson goes for the corner. That's just not... It's not a thing that people do, okay? Anyways, we're in here. And there's a... Oh, Aaron Rodgers barely gets the ball off. That blitz came on awfully quick. Obviously, there's going to be pressure on the screen, but my goodness. And, oh, actually, that reminds me. Check out my screen tutorial video. Now that I've horribly botched one, I put together a little screenplay tutorial that you guys can check out. I have not uploaded it yet. This is, of course, Tuesday, but expect it to be out by tomorrow, I think, at the latest. I have 2 tutorials coming out right away, and hopefully many more to come after that. But 2 on the docket. Mario Manningham drops the ball on 3rd and 10, and so at the 32-yard line of the Flippity Flops, we will have to kick a field goal as well. 4:17 left in this practice scenario. Greg the Leg is in. The kick is up, and of course it's good. It's Greg the Leg. Greg the Leg never misses. He actually did miss one this year. That's beside the point, you guys. Shut up. So yeah, now that you saw me botch a screen pass horribly, you can check out my tutorial and see how it'll show you how you can also screw up screen passes. 4:13 left in this practice scenario. The Flippity Flops will take the ball over at their 20-yard line. This is our last shot at the Flippity Flops this year. I would love to see a compiled record. If somebody has been keeping track of the play of us in practice, I would love to see what our actual record was against the Flippity Flops. Flippity Flops quarterback had all day to throw there. Eventually just threw it away. He had 6 seconds to throw it in the pocket. That's unbelievable. So defensive line right now not getting a lot of pressure. We're just sending 4-man blitzes. Last time we just were going 3 front the whole time to check out how Rob Ninkovich was playing at the defensive tackle spot, and this time we're just sending 4-man rushes. So far, the defensive line is getting an F. There's been no penetration at all. I don't care if this Flippity Flops offensive line is great. I want to see some pressure, y'all. It's brutal. Anyways, zone coverage here. Boss to go to the middle, and there's a hole in the zone. Kirkpatrick can't get back in time. That is another completion up into Bills territory at the 47-yard line. Flippity flops, 1st and 10, 3:29 left. Here we are going to send some pressure in the nickel. We're sending 6 men. Unless the running back stays in to block, we should be sending more than the flippity flops can block. And sure enough, the quarterback gets some pressure finally. Bruce Irvin, Thaddeus Gibson, the 2 defensive ends there to knock him down. He did get the ball out, so it's not a sack, but still a nice play by the defense. 3:25 left in this practice scenario. And as I was saying, it would be cool to find out how effective we were. Obviously, there were numerous practice scenarios that saw us fail to achieve the goal. Beautiful play there by that looked to be Marcus Gilchrist, the backup free safety who was the backup strong safety who was in there as the extra defensive back, tackling the flippity-flop tight end for a loss of a yard. So 3rd and 11 here, and there's a sack. Thaddeus Gibson coming off the end. Wonderful penetration there. That sets up 4th and 19. The flippity flops will, of course, have to punt. The punter is standing at his own 30-yard line. He's going to let the clock run down a bit. And Jacoby Ford is going to have room to run here. He does not quite get around the edge, but still a nice return, about 10 yards up to the 35, maybe 15. I didn't actually see where Jacoby Ford started that run. And so the strategy from here out is going to be very, very simple, and that's going to be to allow Ronnie Brown / Darren Sproles / Brandon Jacobs to run the ball down the flippity-flops' throats, and just to get us in field goal range by the time the clock runs out, and Greg the Leg can win us this practice scenario with a last-minute field goal. Now, if I had to guess, I would guess that we had about an 80% success rate against the flippity flops. There are a couple times where we played practice scenarios that we decided just weren't fair, that we blacklisted. Oh, and there's a fumble. Ronnie Brown gets lit up, fumbles the ball, and the flippity flops pick it up. They're going to score. Ronnie Brown has yet to fumble the ball in this game ever. I don't think he had a fumble all season long. Gets lit up there, puts the ball on the turf. Flippity flop score. So with 153, all of a sudden this practice scenario is shifted greatly. Flippity flops take the lead 24-17. And we're at risk of losing the practice the final practice scenario of the season. Jacoby Ford there wrapped up at the 18-yard line, a miserable return. And all of a sudden the pressure is on Aaron Rodgers and company. They have not been sharp today. 3 drops in one practice scenario for this team. 1 to Baldwin, 1 to Miller, 1 to Manningham. Here, Deshaun Jackson makes a nice catch, and he's ruled out of bounds. Come on, Deshaun, what you doing? In retrospect, maybe we should have just gone to the wide open Doug Baldwin who was underneath, but still, Deshaun Jackson, you got to stay in bounds, buddy. Let's go. Ronnie Brown wide open for the first down. He has it up at the 29-yard line. We'll call a timeout to stop the clock at 1:38. And we'll keep looking to the sky here. We don't have much of a choice. I mean, we could run the ball. It's not like the time is that much of an issue. We do have quite a bit of time to work with. But still, Doug Baldwin makes a nice catch in traffic. The defensive back, the corner was all over him. 20-yard gain for Baldwin. Hell of a play. Making up for that earlier miscue of his. 1:20 left in the practice scenario. We're going on a little screen here to Ronnie Brown. And he gets open. He has some room. He's got great blocking. The defender gets off his block on Luis Vasquez, not before Brown scampers for 12 yards and a first down. 1:10 left in the practice scenario. We use another timeout. We're going to go Bill seam wheel here. I love this play to Ford, who generally speaking in this play comes wide open over the middle. Sure enough, he's got man coverage on the linebacker. He's led upfield, and he doesn't. Interesting. Responded very interestingly there to the controls. Should have had that catch. Instead, decided to do something interesting. Anyways, not important. 104 left, 2nd and 10 coming up here on the 41-yard line of the flippity flops. Heath Miller is open and he drops the ball again. Heath Miller, what are you doing, buddy? Wide open, 12 yards up with momentum. He drops the ball. That's 4 drops for this offense in practice of just a half. Come on, you guys. Here, Jacoby Ford is wide open. He tries to get up the sideline. Very sluggish there. 4th and 2 coming up. So we have to convert here on 4th down, or this practice scenario, folks, is going to be over. And guess who we're going to? That's right. We're going to this play. I love this play because Cumberland stays in to seal the end while Heath Miller goes off to catch a pass. Miller comes open, and look, he remembered how to catch a football. That's a 1st down. We're going to let the clock run here. Not going to use our last timeout yet. I want to put the ball on the ground one time and then use it just to get us a little bit closer, or who knows, maybe break it. I want to give Ronnie Brown a chance to carry, and he's going to get he's around, and he gets out of bounds. What a carry there for Brown. He rattles off 11 yards down to the 8-yard line of the flippity flops. Beautiful play, and the best part is he gets out of bounds, so we keep our last timeout. We can still use it, and we're going to go to the air here. We are going to throw it away if we feel like we're at risk of throwing a pick, whatever else. And, yeah, we're going to throw it away. Aaron Rodgers takes a shot. Come on, ref. Throw that flag. Anyways, 27 seconds left. We're going to go back to the ground. Heath Miller was potentially open on that play. We could have forced it in, tried to hook up that way. I decided against it in the interest of not throwing an interception. There, Brown gets it down to the 5-yard line. 3rd and goal coming up. 22 seconds left in the half. We're going to go to the inside cross play. I love this play. It gets Sproles and Miller moving the opposite directions. Cumberland typically comes open in the corner, and look at that. Jeff, what are you doing, Jeff Cumberland? What is going on with these receivers today, man? You got drops left, right, and center. You got Deshaun Jackson running out of bounds. And Jeff Cumberland just stopped. He just stopped. He could not have been more open, and he just stopped running. My God. What has gotten into you people? Do I have to do all the work? Come on, guys. What is your problem? Hey, we're going to go to the air here. We're going to go on the quick hitter to Deshaun Jackson, barring some type of huge, unforeseeable thing happening. Jackson beats his man to the inside. He gets the ball, and he gets the score. Or he doesn't? What? He didn't make it? What? Screw this practice scenario, guys. What the hell's going on? Are you kidding me? That wasn't in? Oh my God. You are freaking kidding me. Wow. Unbelievable. And so we will lose the final practice scenario of the season, folks. Unbelievable. That's twice. Deshaun Jackson, first he can't keep himself in bounds. There he can't break the plane. We got 4 drops just everywhere, left, right, and center. We got Jeff Cumberland stopping in the end zone for no reason whatsoever. Wow. Well, let's hope this is not a premonition of things to come tomorrow when we play the Super Bowl. The freaking Super Bowl! Guys! Jesus! All right, well, we have one of the best games ever played in the history of the Buffalo Bills franchise, immediately followed by one of the worst practices I've ever seen, and now we're going off to the Super Bowl. I don't know if that's a good thing or an awful thing. You guys can make up your minds yourselves. So, yeah, we'll see you tomorrow for the Super Bowl, you guys, on Wednesday, episode number 48. I'm Tuxedo T-shirt. I'm mildly concerned, and I'm out.